Hello, welcome back again to the show. Oh, it's the end of the fiesta. The fiesta is done, dusted. Argentina world champions, Messi, you can now retire. Thank you very much for gracing the field of football for the past, how many years? As much as I can remember, 2005. Actually, yes, 2005, when I first saw Messi playing in the Under-20 World Cup. And then he came with Argentina to the 2006 um, Men's World Cup in Germany. And since then, it has been a battle. Thank you very much, Messi. Muchas gracias por todo. Te apreciamos, por favor. Pásale muy bien con tu familia. Shaquille, I'm just saying, thank you, Mercy.
Mhm.
Enjoy the time with your family. It's been an awesome World Cup. Shaq, this is the best World Cup I have witnessed, and this is the best finals. From different standpoints, this is the best finals that we have seen ever. 6-goal thriller, penalty shootout, Argentina won. Welcome to the show, Shaq.
Yeah, thank you. As you know, that I was supporting France. Given that, yes, I agree that the type of game, it was a roller coaster. It was unimaginable. It was like I witnessed the poorest of the poorest form in football game when one team doesn't know what is going on, and suddenly they're on top of the game and then going back and forth and doing the same thing over and again. So yeah, you don't get to see a lot of goals and penalties. You got to just simply put, you got the entire package in one day.
Absolutely. We got the entire package in one day. Commiserations to France. They put on a late show. And who doesn't like a late show?
Yeah,
Tell me,
yeah.
who doesn't like a late show? And that was what France put on. And we didn't even know where the game was going to until after 120 minutes. And that was the way it happened. Commiserations to France. It was not your day. Argentina played to win
Hmm.
and they stayed through to the course. And that was what happened. I mean, I can't just, there are many things we can dissect in this game, how the team played, the performance, and the changes that the coaches brought in. Even the mental side of the game was in full effect. It was in full effect throughout the 90 minutes. One team at some point were up, later they changed position, and the other team was on top. And after that, it was the goalkeeper's show. Boy, oh boy. Shaq, let's start with this way. Argentina getting all the way to the finals. Yeah, before this finals, people were saying, oh, the Portuguese said it, oh, it's like Argentina has been. Actually, after that game, they played, which Portugal lost, they said, I remember Pepe saying, just give Argentina the World Cup. I mean, let's just go home from here. What do you make of that? Seeing how Argentina started and how they finished, what do you think or make of the Argentines' performances throughout this World Cup?
Uh, Argentina, to be honest, struggled really hard during their group stages. It felt like this was not the team who can go and win the World Cup. And I personally think I'm not saying that the entire federation wanted them to win, as if you mentioned, Pepe has said it and things like that. But I definitely do think and feel that the decision making has been in favor of and I'm not I will give props to them, and I do when they have played well, but this is not the team that could imagine. I could imagine Brazil was the team that could have won, and went to all the way to the finals. But to answer your question, it does feel like it's not just a feeling. I can also think of chances when the number one thing that I can say is that VAR was there were decisions going to VAR a lot more, and we were given the chance to witness the replays and having a final decision, and the ref on the field have to just or think about his decision. But that thing went away during the quarterfinals, semifinals. It was most of the decisions were just made on the spot, and there was no replay shown. So yeah, that's what has changed, and I don't know, it has helped Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, again, from their first game, which they lost against Saudi Arabia, it was an eye-opener for them. And since then, onto the finals, honestly speaking, they have walked their way through, regardless of officiating. We'll come to officiating at some point, but I think the mental strength of this Argentine team, they played with passion. They played with fire burning inside their veins that you see them. They're not afraid of putting out their foot. They're going into tackles. This is the South American way of playing football. This is the Latin American style of playing football at every level. Shaq, being around here in Latin America, they play at like this at every level, whether club level, whether it's amateur level, they play like this. And this with the professional teams, like professional players on display at this World Cup, they brought that with them. You see it on the stands, you see it with their fans, you see it with ex-internationals, the way they support the team, the way they're chanting, jumping on in the stands, right, with the fans, even though they you find them in the executive boxes, in the stadium, but they don't just sit quiet and calm, watch it. No, you see them chanting, waving the flag and everything. That is the type of support. And they have had the second best fans, besides the Moroccan fans, who were the best fans in this World Cup. They were the second best in terms of support, in terms of presence. You remember the Moroccans, when they played, Croatia, they had 55,000 fans in the stadium. Today, the same thing. Whenever Argentina has played 4 games in this stadium that they played in the final. So they were also used to the stadium. But regardless of that, where were the French fans? Where were the French fans throughout this finals? Maybe they didn't get tickets, or what was it? Because I did not see enough of the French fans in the stadium during this especially for this particular final game, because there were many, more than half of the fans in the stadium were the Argentine fans. And trust me, does that really help? It sends extra firepower to the players on the pitch. And because the players also have the same feeling and the same desire, like the fans too, they would play that way. Messi did not play like a 35-year-old player. He throughout this World Cup.
Yeah.
I think it was only against Saudi Arabia he played like a 35-year-old player. But the rest, it was his last dance, and he took it by the horn. Yeah. So for me, I think Argentina's journey after losing their first game to the finals, they deserve. I was telling you offline, right, that late last night, after seeing some Messi images and the type of player he has been throughout his career, I was like, I think maybe this guy may go with this thing, even though I thought France was going to win it. Even when the game started, I was like giving it to France. But again, as the game wore on, Argentina, they played, I don't know, they just like brought all the French style, tactics, approach to the game. They countered it all. And that was why they were able to go 2-0 up. Now, regardless of the decisions by the referees, which we'll come to, because I think referees in this tournament, they were abysmal for me. That's my own point of view. Now, let's look at the French team. This is the team you supported. And by the way, before we go on, if you're still watching, please click the like button, share, and subscribe. Subscribe.
Yeah, if you're a Messi fan, please subscribe. If you're not, please subscribe.
Yeah, whether you supported France, Argentina, or you supported football, because today for me, football won, regardless of the two sides.
Remember, we got a comment on our channel that someone said Messi is finished. Well, look, where's Messi now?
Messi is on top of the world. Anyway, now let's move on. Now that you've subscribed, now that you've liked, now that you're sharing, let's talk more. The French team. This is the first time the two finalists have lost one game at least on their way to the finals. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that defines that it was a different World Cup altogether.
It was a different World Cup. Yeah. Wow. So the French team, let's look at the French team. This is a team you supported. What do you make of their performance in let's say, let's look at the game they lost against
Yeah.
Tunisia, and then this finals, because these are the only two games they lost. What do you make of their performance?
I was happy with the starting 11 today. I was actually very happy Rabiot came back because
Yeah,
he is more influential versus other players. Uh, but from the start, I have no idea. Dembele was in somewhere else. He was not thinking straight, and I think the only reason the coach had to take players off was Dembele because he was not playing his own role. But I don't know if you remember. I said this can go to penalties because it's going to be 1-1, and then we can go to penalties.
yeah. You said that. I remember you mentioned that you wanted it to go to penalties, but I
Yeah,
don't know the French team as a
French
team that's.
French team put their coach under a lot of pressure. They just stressed him out. Like the first 30 minutes for 35, 40 minutes, they didn't
Actually,
do.
the first half, throughout the first
Yeah, no,
half.
they're nothing. No, no, not. It's like they're playing with the like a small lower like club playing against high level club. That's how they were doing, and not knowing where the ball is going, just running behind like babies, and
Let me jump in a little bit, talking about Dembele, I looked at all his first touches. All his first touches were negative first touches. There were no positive first touches. What I mean by that, ball staying to his feet after he controlled it, and the direction in which he was going, his orientation. When he first touches the ball, it was not to go forward. It's either to cut inside
Mm-hmm.
or to go backwards. And most of the times, with his first touch, he was given the ball away. With his first touch, he was given the ball away. And that was like, this guy is not in the game. And that affected the performance of Jules Koundé on the right back because
Yeah,
there was no
puts a
there
lot
was
of
no
pressure on him.
option. There was no option for him to go forward. Argentina played a classic 4-4-2. They dominated the midfield. The French were playing. At some point, you don't see any other French player closing in space in the middle, trying to
Mm-hmm.
win second balls, trying to, World Cup finals are not a game where you play a lot of tactical football. It's just that thing you know how to do. You just stay on it and you do it very, very well.
Yeah.
And today, Dembele was out of the game completely. He was completely out of the game. And that also affected Giroud because Giroud was not there. Giroud did not play his game. He was not, it was hard for him to win any area ball. Today,
Yeah.
it was so hard. Reason because I guess Dembele on the right side wasn't helping at all.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he tried to help, that was when he committed the foul and then he got a penalty. I mean, stay on the player, don't commit too much. There are players in front of you or in front of the opposition player. That is when he will be able to do it. I don't know why, but the French team were not on top of their game today. Defensively, I was suspicious of Varane and Upamecano playing.
Yeah.
But Varane did not have a good game at all, even though and when he came off, I think he should have come off earlier. I think he should have come off
Way too early.
earlier.
Like he should be the first one to.
He should be
Like
one of
after
the
the
first
first
players
half, he
to,
should have been
yes,
off.
he should have been one of the first one. Because again, I see how the Argentines, even though when they play out from the back, their center backs, they provided themselves enough space to be able to keep possession of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The French were so close to themselves that if they at any point losing the ball, they were in big trouble. And sometimes it happened that they lost the ball even on possession. And there are some
Yeah,
times when
Hernandez gave away many times the ball back.
Hernandez was also had a very, very poor game today. So their back four were very vulnerable. I
Yes.
do not know why they were so vulnerable to the French, to the Argentines today. And in the middle, Rabiot at some point was exhausted. Chomeni was some point done and dusted, had no idea of what he was doing, where he was to run, how much fast he has to run to cover space or to go in or throw in a tackle, which the Argentines did perfectly well. And again, I think the mental aspect of the game, the Argentines had it more on the higher side. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for the French team, they took the game, they lost. But, but, they were not out. I think with 80th minute, from the first minute to the 80th minute, it was
Mhm.
all Argentina.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
I
all Argentina.
at that point I was actually just started to believe that it's over, and I messaged you and I messaged my friend. Like it's they're not coming back. There is no way if they're playing this way, and they were playing this way until the 80th minute. There
Until the
no
80th
no
minute.
there was there was no shot on goal until the
No
80th
shot.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah,
Zero,
there was no shot on goal.
and
Zero.
Argentina had 9 at that point.
9.
So I
Yeah.
was like, there is no way they can come out of this.
I,
Um,
I think I think at the end of the day, the substitutions helped the French
the
team,
second
but it was
substitution
not
did help.
enough.
Kamavinga
It
coming
was not
on,
enough.
fresh
Yes.
legs in place of Hernandez. It did help. Yes.
For me, I think that Pavard should have come on as well if he was fit. I think he should have come on. If he had come on, again, there could be a psychological approach to him coming
Mm-hmm.
on because of the goal he scored against Argentina in the round of 16 last time in Russia. But again, it didn't happen. Could they try? But they were all horrible in the back. But let's talk about what they did well, because at the time, the 80th minute, again, 2-0 is the most deceptive scoreline in football, as I will always say. And as a coach, if I'm 2-0 up, I tell my players, you got to get in more goals, at least one more. If you get one more goal in, you have killed the game. 2-0, Argentina, twice lucky. 2-0, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. But I think the game against the Netherlands was what helped them to have a more positive mindset. If this was the first time they were going back 2-0 and then tying it 2-2, I think they would have been down and out. But I think they stayed on it. The French came back in. What a magnificent goal by Mbappe. The first time it's a hat trick
In a
in the FIFA
final,
World
yeah,
Cup
yeah,
finals.
yeah, and not just
Unbelievable
yeah,
kid.
unbelievable. Yeah, he's setting records, and I mean, everyone is saying Messi's goat, and he. I think he is. I'm not saying he's a goat yet, but he's there. He's already there. His step is or he's already stepped his foot right in the door. I wanted to say one thing. I agree with the first two changes, Dembele and Giroud, but I don't understand why Griezmann was taken out, because he does lots in the game. He can change the so I think if he stayed on, either him or Giroud, it might have been better. But I guess I can understand why Deschamps had to make those hard
I
decisions.
think he was looking for fresh legs to up the tempo of the game,
Yeah,
because they were not matching the tempo
they
of the
were not.
Argentina
Yes,
team.
yeah,
They were not at all. For me, they lacked desire. It was as if they lacked desire, and the desire comes from the tempo in which you match your opposition, throw in tackles, go ball 50-50, put in your feet there. The Argentines were not scared of doing that. They
yeah,
were they were stamping on Mbappe, doing everything to win the ball back. That's how these guys play. And
yeah.
once they wear their national team jersey, they become different animals. At the club
Mm,
level, they might not be doing this.
yeah.
But once they wear the national
Well,
team
when you're
jersey,
in the final, it's do or die, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
it did.
one-off game. If you get injured, I mean, your club side will suffer it. But again, you have to do something here, and that was what the Argentine team did, and they were able to they absorbed every pressure, even late pressures from. Look at that magnificent save from Martinez towards the end of the extra time. You can't take that off. They were exceptional. They were just right there, and congratulations to Mbappe winning the Golden Boot. But I'm sure that's not the trophy he
That's what
wanted.
he
He said
did. No,
he
that's not
wanted
he was
this
looking
World
for.
Cup. He wanted this World Cup. But again, you need to have more than one player, especially in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the hard work,
Yeah.
in terms of putting in extra effort in the
No,
middle there.
you could see that he was coming deep, so
He
that
was
he
dropping
was
so
begging his
deep.
team to bring the ball forward,
Yeah,
and that's what they were
I,
lacking today in the first half, especially.
exactly.
Like
I'm telling you,
midfield couldn't bring the ball. Like they brought to this half line and then back,
they
half
go
line back,
back
half line back. That's what they
because
did.
there was no extra driver. Imagine if the French team have a player like Kovacic
Yeah,
in that middle, or
individual effort.
Pogba. If
Yeah.
Pogba was playing this game, Pogba is the ball carrier in the central midfield of the French team. And that was what was missing. He was really missed in this tournament in terms of carrying the ball, driving the ball forward, and then playing it. Messi can do it for Argentina, but he has other two. He has an Alvarez, who is a workaholic striker as well, that
Hmm.
is able to go forward and take those risks and make those runs. So Messi can come back, drive the ball, but Mbappe coming back, driving the ball, and then going, trying
It's a
to
lot of work.
score. It's a lot of work for him, and there's no way he's able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what the French team were lacking today, that they did not have that driver. Rabiot, at some point, I needed him to be out because he was tired.
Hmm.
And then the head clash,
Yeah.
was also affecting him. Fofana should have come in a little bit earlier. I think, again, when you have your first team already set up and make changes again once the players recover, you still have to play them.
True.
But I think today, Argentina, from the way they played, from the first minute to the last minute, even though the French put up a late fight and a late show for us to enjoy by Mbappe scoring a hat trick, the most cool-headed penalty taker in that team,
Hmm.
to be precise, he was on top of it. And congratulations to Argentina again. But the French, they are an exceptional team. They are
Yeah, they
very
are.
exceptional.
And to be honest, this could have been a really easy. I don't think they lost because Argentina outplayed them. They lost because they just, I don't know, they were somewhere
Mentally,
else.
they were
They
not
were
there.
mentally not there.
I think they were not mentally there. If they were there mentally, I think
Argentina
they
had
would
no
have.
chance. Yeah.
Argentina had no chance, because I think that was one of the things that I had seen, that made me to think that they were going to win. But the way they
Yeah,
played,
if
everything.
they can still do 3-3 by just playing casually, imagine if they were actually playing well with everything right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
It would have been
exactly.
3-0 or 4-0 like last time.
Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen like that. Now, let's divert a little bit here to the officiating at this World Cup. The officiating at this World Cup for me has been terrible. Has been terrible. Poor decisions, referees not protecting players, allowing them to just suffer, with all. I mean, it's a very physical game, we understand. But when you look at the stamping, the tackles and everything, I think they were in excess. They were in excess to what is permitted in the game. I don't know why. What do you make of the officiating in this very
Yeah,
tournament?
with the officiating, I would understand. You get penalized for the most soft touches. Or on the other side, there is no foul, even if it's like harsh, dangerous tackle. Like we saw today. Well, I'm not debating with the first penalty. Okay, you can give the penalty, but uh, there was a few chances today that the ref didn't. Well, first of all, he stopped the game twice. France wanted to play advantage,
Yeah.
and instead of a yellow card, I think it would have been harsher if he did want to stop the game.
Yes.
It should have been a red card because the way he tackled, he just it was not sportsmanship. Like I can understand pulling a shirt, but he was just like flying in front of him to deliberately. You can say that it was not the last player, but he should have been
Yeah.
penalized more because I don't know these refs, the way he started the game, he was like, oh, I'm gonna be very strict on you, but in the times when he had to be stricter, no, he coming back to
No.
the entire tournament, no, I am not satisfied. There have been so many, as I said before, after the group stages, the decision making was solely relied on the own field ref, and we didn't see a lot of VAR decisions or replays or why did they make that decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember in the there was not a single time in the last after group of knockout, and there was not a single time when an on-field ref had to go look at the screen. I
Yeah.
don't remember. It only happened in the group
I
stages.
don't, yeah, I don't think I remember any time that that happened. But again, it comes, I don't know, I do not know why the refereeing was so poor this particular tournament. The football was great. The underdogs performed. We had a lot of surprises in this World Cup. Even this finals was quite a little bit of a surprise.
Hmm.
I mean, Argentina, they have very, very good players. But again, I don't know why officiating was so poor at this World Cup. I just don't know why. I don't want to believe that it was designed for a specific team to win. I don't like believing
No, I don't think
I
that
don't
was
like
that the
believing
case.
that because it's a 90 minutes game. And if you're not on top of your game, if you don't match the opposition the way the opposition is matching you, strength to strength, pace for pace, fire for fire, everything, trying to create something, trying to step up your game,
Hmm.
then you will not be able to get anything. But besides all of these things, I believe that the officiating should be better. I mean, FIFA should look into this, or maybe these referees they are old, retire all of them. Not for the next World Cup or for any. I mean, the players will come off and they are complaining about officiating all the time. Like calling this before it doesn't happen. It was rare that players would come out. Maybe it happens once in a while, but it happened a lot of times in this very tournament that players were, complaining a lot about referees, and I think that's not very good for the game.
Yeah. I mean, World Cups are always controversial, but you know, they should be improving instead of going back. Um, like it's a historical event, and I don't know. If you have the Well, my point of view is like if you have the technology, go to technology and show us a replay. Why this and the other sports have taken this approach that in cricket, when there is actually a VAR type of decision, the VAR ref is explaining his or her thought process. Why are they? What is like the image and what their decision is?
Yeah,
And I think I don't know. I don't want football to become like that, but at least show a picture, show a replay, and show why the decision was made in certain ways. I believe there must be some backlog, or if someone wants to do it, ask like, hey, what happened? They must have some recordings, but I'm
of
saying for
course.
the general public.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they find some resolution to it, uh to the horrible officiating, and also try to protect these players. Sometimes you have to protect the players too. I know it's a contact game, but the when you are stepped on and you don't call the foul, when you are just nudged in the back and you don't call the foul,
Mm-hmm.
even for Argentina, there was a time a player from Argentina was nudged in the back, just that Hugo Lloris, made that save, cleared the ball out there. But that's not. I mean, there are a lot of things that the referee should, should take into consideration. And there were less number of, yellow cards given in this finals. And honestly, not because, but there were situations where they should have been given yellow cards, especially, I mean, Argentine players, especially when they hold back, the French team from counter-attacking and the referee just calls a foul. That's a yellow card offense, honestly speaking. And but who am I? I'm not an official of the game, I'm just a coach and a player. So
Mm.
just leave it to them. But hopefully
Yeah.
that is taken into consideration during their technical reports.
Yeah, but to sum it up, like even though I was supporting France, you were supporting, but I think majority of the people were supporting Argentina.
Yeah, just
Uh,
for one guy.
just for one
That's number
guy,
10.
because it's a lot. As we discussed, a lot of people watch football because of emotions versus actually understanding the game, and they
Yeah.
want to look cool and say, "Oh, my
I mean, you have to
Messi's."
belong to the you have
Yes.
to belong to to the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the odd man. I mean, congratulations to Argentina. Congratulations to Messi. He has. I don't think there's any trophy in this world that he has not won. So he has won everything.
He's won
So
everything.
he has won everything from club side to national team. Lifted his first Copa America, I think, last year, and now he has lifted the World Cup, which is the pinnacle of a professional footballer's career. So he's won a lot of Champions League trophies. Being the best player of all time. I mean, Ballon d'Or, FIFA best. All of those. So he has really achieved. We are blessed to have seen him play. Yeah, the thing is that for his competitors, I don't know where they're going to end, but at the end of the day, I would say that it is an era that has come to an end at this particular World Cup. The only player that is on top right now that will start, we need to find someone to compete with him with Mbappe. Because at the national team level, there is no other player, that is up there to compete with him or to compete against him, So he's just on his own. But what can we say? For the French, some French people even wanted Messi to win because he is Messi, I think he has there's a lot of sentiment towards Messi. I like Messi. I like the way he plays football. I like the way he carries himself. I've seen him lose games where he's felt so disappointed. Even at some point, he retired from the national team, and then he came back again. I have seen him. We've seen him. Up and down right there.
Yeah.
But again, will I say that he deserved to win the World Cup? I think he deserves it. And the only way we can say that someone deserves something is through hard work. It's not just on merit. Deserving something is by hard work. And Messi worked very hard in this World Cup. And for that, congratulations, Lionel Messi, on winning the World Cup.
Yeah, congratulations.
For those saying that he's the all-time greatest, is up there for debate. We all have our opinions. For me personally, I don't have an all-time great, because there are a lot of great players that have played football and will still play football.
Yeah, everyone is great in their own way, right? There's no definition.
Exactly. So you define greatest by your own standards. FIFA has no standard for defining greatest of all time. Because Pele has won the World Cup 3 times. Mbappe will win the World Cup again. I am very sure about that. And so imagine if he had won this one, would we say that he's better than Messi or Ronaldo? We don't know because he's still coming up, right?
Yeah.
He's still 23.
And he has done something that no one has done before, a hat-trick in the final.
A hat-trick in the final. Yeah. So
under extreme conditions.
A very, 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 very extreme condition. And guess what? He is still going to dwarf the number of goals Messi and Ronaldo has scored.
Easily.
He's going to score more goals in the World Cup, more than Miroslav Klose, who is the all-time leading scorer in the World Cup. So imagine he does that, wins another World Cup, wins a Champions League. What else? We will now start saying Mbappe is all-time greatest. And he scored hundreds of goals too. It's not as if he doesn't score goals. So we still have more debates to come. By the time Mbappe is 28, 30, 35, we'll still see. Yeah, I hope that we'll be alive, God willing, and to see all of that. But on that note, this is where we will call it a day. This past 1 month, my mind, I have never lived through this before, Shakil. I have never lived through this before. And this is the best World Cup, both on the display from what we saw, from Qatar, Germany 2006, France 98, Korea, Japan 2002, Germany 2006, South Africa 2010, Brazil 2014, Russia 2018 did not beat any of this. And I think also this World Cup has surpassed the number of goals scored. Prior to the finals, there were 171 goals scored in this World Cup. So with the 6 goals scored in this World Cup, it has surpassed the other World Cups in the number of goals scored. So thank you very much, Mbappe, for the hat trick. Thank you very much, Messi, for your brace. Thank you very much, Di Maria, for retiring as well from the national team with a World Cup. Messi and friends. I think this is the only golden generation of the Argentine team compared to the golden generation of like England, like Belgium, that were awful displays from these golden generations. But again, I think England is building another golden generation. We'll have to see about that. But on that note, it has been a fantastic World Cup. It has been a fantastic World Cup. Thank you, Morocco. Thank you for your World Cup, for this World Cup. You made it a beautiful one. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. Thank you, Tunisia.
Thank you, Japan.
For beating world champions. Thank you, Japan.
I think we have to thank you, Morocco, for many, many things. Thank you for beating Spain and Portugal.
Spain.
Yeah, and topping their group. And yeah.
Unbelievable. You wouldn't believe that, And thank you, Luka Modric.
Thank you,
I know that
Modric.
This is your last World Cup. We really appreciate, the number 10s really lived up to the expectations as well. Thank you, Lionel Messi. Thank you, Cristiano Ronaldo. It was not meant for Portugal, even though Portugal was one of the favorites because of the type of team they had. But again, thank you very much, guys. Lionel Messi.
Now I want to thank Hugo Lloris. Thank you, Benzema, even though he didn't play. So I don't think we're gonna see him in another World Cup. So
yes, exactly. Thank you, Walid Regragui from Morocco, taking a team in 3 months and turning them into potential favorites.
Yeah,
Black Horse favorites. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, if they can add more good players and have a deeper squad, they can be a very good.
They could have. Yeah, they could have been. But he did a fantastic job in 3 months, And Lionel Scaloni, thank you again. The youngest coach at this World Cup. It was an unbelievable experience. I'm really, really proud of what Argentina has done, especially with their coach. You don't see, all the time we always give credit to the Europeans on how they are, innovate tactically during games. But I think we have to also give credit to this, young South American coach for how he handled this team. His formation changed everything. The players worked hard and everything. He had them all together. So congratulations to Argentina. And on that note, I want to say thank you for everyone who has been part of our journey during this World Cup. It has been an unforgettable experience. We really, really appreciate you. Keep watching our channel because our job doesn't stop here. We'll go back to our normal routine with the Premier League, with the Champions League, and all of those things that we'll do cover. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Appreciative for all that FIFA has given to us. Thank you, Qatar, for hosting a magnificent World Cup. I was listening to a commentary on the final note here. I say, when you're on the outside, it's easy for you to talk against, all the things that are happening, all the controversies without knowing exactly on first-hand experience, But again, regardless of all the controversies that were out there, thank you, Qatar. You made it happen. And I hope they give Morocco the 2030 World Cup to host because they have been vying to host for the World Cup. For the past 6 World Cups, they've been vying and to host. So it's Africa's time, I believe so, for the next one after 2026. So Morocco should host the World Cup. Gianni Infantino. Thank you very much, everyone, again. Thank you, Shaq. It's been an awesome journey.
It was.
Waking up late, early in the morning to watch football matches.
Yeah, and talking about it, all the games. Yeah. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again. And on that note, arrivederci. Peace out. Muchas gracias. Hasta pronto. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.